What if I told you, chosen one, that the reason women feel drawn to you now has nothing to do with what you say, what you wear, or what you own, and everything to do with what you've become? What if I told you that your presence speaks before your mouth opens, that your energy enters a room before your body does, and that the feminine feels you in her skin before her eyes ever find you? What you carry now cannot be learned from any book, copied from another man, or manufactured through performance. It is not something you put on and take off like a costume. It is not a trick, not a method, not a strategy. It is something deeper, something alive inside you, something that radiates from the core of who you are. It is a current that others feel before you speak, a vibration that moves through the room without needing permission. It is a presence born from the quiet battles you fought in private, the hunger you sat with without feeding recklessly, the restless fire you learned to master instead of letting it control you. You do not chase beauty anymore. You do not audition for attention. You do not present yourself like a salesman, hoping for approval. Your presence itself has become enough. Feminine, grounded women feel you before they even see you. They don't analyze it. They don't try to explain it. But their bodies respond to it the way skin responds to sunlight. Subtle at first, but impossible to ignore. It warms them without touching. It stays with them even after you've gone. Your high sexual energy is no longer fractured, hidden, or spilled in all directions. It is not loud or desperate. It does not pour from your eyes like hunger. It rests within you like a storm that has learned patience, like heat stored under stone. It is steady, potent, and undeniable. You no longer need clever lines, theatrical charm, or borrowed confidence. The performance is gone. What remains is the truest form of your masculinity, quiet, anchored, and real. You no longer push to initiate. Often you simply have to exist. Your silence speaks more than another man's rehearsed speeches. Your stillness has weight. It draws the air toward you. There is no costume to it, no exaggerated gesture. You've let go of the exhausting need to prove your masculinity, and in letting go, you have stepped into the kind of manhood that others can sense without you lifting a finger. You do not approach a woman as prey or conquest. You walk like a man who knows his value, whose worth is not in being picked, but in being recognized. This recognition pulls her in, awakening something she thought was lost to time. You are not noise in a crowded market. You are the low hum of a sacred song playing beneath everything, a song she didn't know she'd been missing until it reached her. You don't pull at her attention. You summon it without speaking. Your alignment, your posture, your calm fire tell her without words, I want nothing from you, but I see everything in you. Her body notices before her mind does. When you enter a space, the atmosphere changes. Her shoulders relax. Her tone shifts. Her breath moves differently. She doesn't know why yet, but her body does. Your energy is not scattered outward. It rests. It does not plead. It invites. It does not rush. It waits. It does not try to overpower. It influences effortlessly. And true influence is invisible power. It is the reason she blushes without warning, why she finds herself wondering about you later, why she remembers how she felt in your presence, even when she's forgotten what was said. You carry your desire like a sword still sheathed, and she senses its weight even untouched. You have stopped trying to overwhelm. You have become a man who contains. You do not force yourself into the world's attention. You let the world feel you and adjust. You no longer dominate through volume, status, or noise. You dominate through alignment, through a steadiness that is unshaken, through a softness that feels like thunder under silk. This softness is not weakness. It is strength so deep it no longer needs to shout. You have earned the right to be at ease because you have wrestled with your own impulses and won. You have mastered the discomfort of restraint. And now that restraint glows in your very posture, your power no longer demands recognition. It simply exists. Women feel it before they know your name. Your strength honors softness instead of trying to take it. You do not confuse dominance with leadership or validation with intimacy. That clarity has made your presence a safe space, not just for them, but for you. You are no longer testing your fire on every flame. You hold it with certainty. Around you, a woman can feel beautiful without having her beauty extracted. She can bring her chaos without you trying to control it. Your sexual energy stands still and tall, not lurching forward, but radiating from within. In your presence, she exhales. She stops performing. She becomes more herself, more playful, more open, more alive, because she feels she is with a man who will not be threatened by her fullness. Your attraction is not built on the surface. It is not about muscle, money, or quick wit. It is about how safe her heart feels near you. It is about the trust that her openness will not be exploited. You are the kind of man who can receive her vulnerability without turning it into a weapon. That is power. That is true leadership. That is seduction without calculation. You don't interrupt her femininity. You awaken it. You don't dim her light. You expand it. You don't chase her body. You bless it with the kind of gaze that sees her soul. You are not the flash of lust or the cold shadow of arrogance. You are something older and more sacred. You awaken a softness she thought was buried forever. You do not demand or perform or try to dazzle. You simply stand rooted, steady, and burning from within. Your sexual energy no longer flies outward in wild sparks. It burns low, constant, and mastered. It is not the sharpness of your words or the shape of your body that draws her. It is the truth in your restraint, the safety in your heat, the confidence in your presence. When she walks near you, she doesn't tense, she melts, not out of submission, but out of trust. You give back what the world took from her. You don't just make her feel attractive, you make her feel safe enough to be radiant. You do not pull her in to consume her. You reflect her to herself. You are the man who can hold her completely, not just in body, but in spirit. You are not lightning. You are sunrise. You are not explosion. You are the steady burn of a forge. You do not overwhelm, you invite. You do not take her power. You call it forward. She knows you do not need her, but you could choose her. And that distinction changes everything. It is why she lingers without knowing why. It is why she remembers you without trying. You carry a fire that does not scorch, but stays. Your presence is not a possession. It is an atmosphere. Once she has breathed it in, she will not forget it. She may not speak of it to anyone, but her body will always remember. You have become more than attractive. You have become sanctuary. In a world that demands she be both sharp and soft, open and guarded, she finds in you a place to simply breathe. You are not trying to take, prove, or perform. You are simply present. Your sexual energy has matured into something women can trust. You are not a threat. You are a balm. You carry fire without burning, desire without rushing, hunger without desperation. When a woman who has lived guarded meets a man like you, something ancient stirs in her. She remembers what it feels like to be safe and unguarded at the same time. She remembers what it feels like to let go, and she will want to return to that again and again. Your presence offers protection without cages, attention without pressure, strength without harm. You give her space to stretch into her essence fully. She might not understand why she laughs more with you, why her voice softens, why her walls dissolve, but her body knows. You don't lead her into fantasy. You lead her into a reality so aligned, so safe, that it feels better than fantasy could ever be. You see her whole, and in that vision, she is freed. That is why she stays longer. That is why she looks back. You are no longer noise in the room. You are a frequency. You do not shout. You hum. You do not demand. You declare without force. You no longer need to be chosen. You already are. And from that knowing, your presence has become medicine. It calms storms. It settles the breath. It creates the rare space where love could truly grow. Your presence works across the room. It lingers after you've gone. Women do not just miss you, they feel the absence of your energy, like the silence after a great song. It is not your touch they remember most. It is the way their body felt in your presence. And that is why, chosen one, they will always feel you before they see you, and they will feel your absence long after you've gone. It's in the quiet moments she remembers you, the pause before sleep, the stillness between conversations, the moment another man tries but fails to move her the way you did. You didn't make her laugh the loudest, didn't dominate the room, didn't work to win her admiration, yet you left something behind, a warmth, a truth, a stillness that lingers. That quiet mark has become a beautiful haunting, a reminder of how rare it is to feel something real. Because you weren't loud, she now hears how noisy the world is. Because you didn't try to impress, she feels how exhausting most men are. Because you didn't need her, she chose you in the secret places of her longing. This is the echo of a man who carries his sexual energy in discipline, a sacred fire to offer only when it's right. That discipline turns desire into devotion, attraction into memory, and memory is what makes you unforgettable. Most men vanish from thought because they leave nothing felt. You are felt even in your absence. Her body remembers the ease, the calm, the way her guard lowered without effort. You listened without hunger, just presence. Now the bar is higher. What once seemed charming feels shallow. What once felt enough now feels flat. Once she has experienced your steady, unshaken masculine peace. Nothing else feels the same. She may not say it, but she'll pause before replying to others, notice herself comparing, feel the ache that whispers, "He was real." You are not addictive, you are corrective. You've reset her compass. Even if she walks away, the path she takes is forever changed. You're not chasing anymore, and because of that, they chase the memory of you. You are felt beyond the moment, beyond touch, beyond time. The highest form of masculine beauty is not in how you look, but in how you receive, with grounded, non-judging presence that makes her feel safe in her soul. This safety is not performed or promised. It lives in your posture, your breath, the way you hold her truth without retreat. Around you, her soul expands. She laughs without editing, weeps without shame, speaks without shrinking. You don't fear her chaos, you hold it. You don't control her beauty, you honor it. Your sexual energy becomes the unseen container for her freedom, clean, steady, and without manipulation. It carries a quiet yes. You may be all that you are, and I will not look away. In that yes, she opens, not from weakness, but from strength. Her feminine essence begins to glow, even when you're gone, because you didn't try to take her light. You refused to dim it. That brightness will always mark you in her memory, not as the loudest or the most impressive, but as the truest. You have become the standard she measures reality against. You are what happens when a man reclaims his sexual energy from ego and impulse and shapes it into something steady, alive, unshakable. You carry yourself like a man with nothing to prove because you know who you are. Around you, her movements slow, her breath deepens, her heart settles. You don't feed her chaos, you quiet it. You are the anchor she didn't know she was looking for. The men who come after you will feel hollow. Their charm will seem empty, their confidence brittle. Because you've shown her what a whole man feels like. She no longer wants desire alone. She wants presence. And that is what you are. You don't make women fall. You make them rise. And they remember that rise. Even in silence, even in your absence, even when they try to forget. You are no longer just desirable. You are essential.